Well, I'm Nigel Southway. I've been in manufacturing 55 years, and it's been good to me. I started at 16 as a manufacturing biased aerospace apprentice. I did my degree in electronic engineering, worked on the space shuttle arm, and then escaped into the high-tech electronics industry, which was booming. I was at Motorola in the 80s when Six Sigma was invented, and we did a lot of work on what became lean manufacturing. My experience has been manufacturing engineering and manufacturing management, and then of course moving into a consulting role later in my career. And around about 2004, I was asked to go to China for my clients and act as a joint venture coordinator to move product to China. We formed a very strong team in China. I'm very proud of the team we put together there. And we had a lot of successes and moved a lot of product. Then I came home, realized that I'd been part of the hollowing out of our manufacturing base. It was depressing to see just how much we'd lost in our local manufacturing community. So I rejoined my society, which is the Society of Manufacturing Engineers. We talked about it and we decided to take it back. But one of those sort of grandiose ideas. So we put a forum together dedicated to the restoration of manufacturing. And that really decided that we would do the book now. And the reason we chose now is we believe there is a change in perception. The effectiveness and security of global supply chains is now being questioned. As industry practitioners, what's our role in bringing back manufacturing? So let's take a look at the global supply chain. Bottom left are the cost drivers, they're significant. And the ones in red are non-value added steps that we've got in this long supply chain. This whole supply chain is predicated on cheap money because there's a lot of inventory tied up in that supply chain. So as interest rates go up, there's going to be a significant cost of running such a supply chain. So let's take a look at the alternative, which is a localized trade block, where we shorten the supply chain and make our own products locally. We end up now with a strong incubation for manufacturing. Innovation can be connected directly to manufacturing. We'll still trade, but on a balanced basis. And we'll still send resources to people that want them for their own economy. Now, just take a look at the cost of that supply chain has gone down by an order of magnitude, 10 to 5 times. And it's very lean and green, very balanced. The theme is make much more of what you consume with much more of your own resources. There is an intrinsic advantage in being localized now as far as manufacturing is concerned, and it's getting worse in terms of cost of shipping. And that's even without tariffs. So we got about 40% of our corporations now looking to reshore. A lot of activity about getting back into the USMCA. We could see that whereas a couple of commodities should stay home rather than be sent offshore, when you take all the costs, logistics, overhead, labor, the environmental impact, etc. And there's a few reasons why it will stay that way I want to tell you about next. So the solution that we talk about is 3 parallel imperatives. We need government to put their policy straight to support the initiative. We need an integrated industrial learning system so that we've got not only people that are educated, strong training and strong experience combined together. What I want to focus on is actually what you should do as practitioners. Lean is one of the very strong initiatives that will get us there. It's one of the things that will push us towards running the numbers better and getting more productive, and also Industry 4.0. So Industry 4 is a key lever to enable take-back manufacturing. I say that over and over. We can't bring back manufacturing the way it used to be. It's got to be new stuff done differently with Industry 4.0. Now, my version of 4.0 might be different than other people's. It's cyber physical. It must be cyber physical, where you connect everything together without human intervention to be classified as Industry 4.0. So what we want to do is get rid of the hand in our process. No hands. This is the old way. We actually had our people trapped between the process and the computers. What we want to do is liberate them with Industry 4 so that they are running the process above as an organization with the system running the process directly. That is my version of Industry 4.0. A lot of people struggle with how to get people involved in change. People don't mind change, they just don't like being changed. And so what we need to do is we need to make sure they're highly involved in the change process. So give them the problem, not the solution. When you give them the problem, give them time to work together on the solution so it's their solution. If I have three ways to do something, and A's okay and B's okay, and I don't want to do C, if somebody comes up with B and I would have picked A, I'll do B because it's his idea, he'll make it work. That's the way continuous improvement should be done. And be prepared to fail. Let people try to fail. Let them experiment with the solution. It's still better than the perfect world with everybody fighting you on the solution. Big data, having body of knowledge in real time at the point of use is actually what it's all about. Industry 4 is deemed to be a strategic imperative now. and it's big business, and you got to get on the train. It's going to be needed. So you need a vision. First thing you do, here's a quick roadmap. You're going to start getting people together. You won't have all the answers yourself. So you need your ERP expert, and you need other people that make equipment. You need people that do sensoring. You need all these experts to come together and join you as a team to construct a joint provider syndicate to get your plan built, to get your vision built. Second thing, people need a readiness survey. You need to keep yourself honest with a scorecard. So if you take your organization, that's a pretty typical pre-lean organization. It's vertical. If we now look at it horizontally and structure it, this is actually a modern organization where things flow automatically with systems. We now can structure it into a Industry 4 environment, which this is one of the models that is used. And we can populate it now with the subsystems that are needed for Industry 4.0. And you'll notice that ERP is right on the top alongside computer-aided engineering and a QMS system. So those three top boxes are very much instrumental foundational requirements for Industry 4. ERP, full functional ERP, which does everything from the front to back of the business. A very strong computer-aided engineering environment, which does everything from the engineering simulation of your product right through your process design and your testing, etc. And also you got to connect the way you do things into the system, so that's all orchestrated electronically as well. The most important part people struggle with is what's called an MES, Manufacturing Execution System. I'm finding that in your particular industry space, your equipment OEM providers at the latest trade show are probably talking up about their own MESs. And so the way MES is unbundling right now, I'm unpacking, is that it's being developed by the industry-specific OEMs for the equipment providers for the process. And that will take you with probably to where you want to go in terms of an MES. So let's look at a readiness survey. You take the same structure, you convert it into a scorecard, add a few things to it, and then you end up with a series of checklists that are scorecarded and weighted so that you can structure a checklist and a scorecard. Very important if you're going to take this together and do a scorecard and a plan, that you review it on an ongoing basis. So what I'm finding with people I'm working with is that you talk about it once a year, and that's not enough. And if we really want manufacturing to come back, we're going to have to work for it with these kind of tools. So a summary, you got to get together with the industry and understand what's available on Industry 4.0. You need a scorecard, and you got to make sure that lean, your continuous improvement and lean study is actually embedded into this thing. We need take back manufacturing. We need to reshore. We need to get rid of long supply chains. Interest rates are rising. It's going to be pretty obvious and politically obvious that we're going to need to take it back. There's no magic pills or wands. There never was for me anyway. In getting this stuff done, you had to do it yourself. And if you don't learn and get it done, you'll probably get disrupted by somebody else who gets there before you. Everybody needs to realize this one thing. Everybody worries about prosperity. Unless we have a strong manufacturing base, we will continue to worry about prosperity. Take manufacturing back and get some prosperity back into the country. Not just Canada, but North America. A lot of our leadership, a lot of our politicians don't even understand manufacturing anymore. I think manufacturing needs a spin job. Manufacturing is not dark, dirty, dangerous, and smelly and ugly. It's an exciting world, you know. The young folks, when I started in the industry at 16, I was excited. I was excited with my first plant tour. And I'm 73 and I'm still excited about any tours I do. And if we want to get that culture back to everybody, so that it's not, oh my God, I got to go to manufacturing today. It's what's going to happen? I might miss something if I don't pay attention. Our young folks, once we energize them, get the next generation to understand manufacturing, they will take us there. We must get the youth excited about manufacturing. They got to learn things like ERP, they got to learn about robotics. It's exciting. Technology's fun. That's what they like doing. Let's put them in manufacturing and do just that.